Welcome to the WHHI-TV Daily News. I'm Betsy McDaniel. As always, there's a lot to cover in the Lowcountry, so we'll get started with today's headlines. Remember when we were on high alert during the RBC Heritage for eventual champion Scotty Scheffler to become a dad? Well, he made his debut a bit later than anticipated, but the Shefflers did finally have their new baby boy. And no, they did not name him Sir Willie. His name is Bennett, and he was born on May 8th. Mom and son are doing fine. Dad is doing fine too and was one of the first players to arrive in Louisville for this week's PGA Championship, where he'll tee off as one of the favorites, even though he hasn't played any tournament golf since winning the Heritage nearly a month ago. That win was his fourth win in 5 starts. Speaking of the PGA Championship, it will of course feature the biggest names in golf, but it will also feature groups of veterans and active duty service members from all branches of the military through a program called PGA Hope. Hope in this case stands for Helping Our Patriots Everywhere. One of the 12 military groups competing this year comes from the Legends at Paris Island Golf Course in Beaufort. The topic of bridges seems to find its way into the headlines frequently, and today is no exception, as it has come to light that the Talmadge Bridge that links South Carolina to downtown Savannah is now not high enough to handle the taller ships that need to get under it to reach Savannah's port. The Georgia Ports Authority is considering plans that could possibly raise the current bridge, build a new bridge, or even tunnel under the Savannah River. A public session will be held next Monday night at the Coastal Georgia Center to get your input as to what should be done. Savannah has the 3rd largest port on the East Coast. Despite its explosive growth, Bluffton's town council is working its way through a budget for next year that would actually be $2 million less than the current budget. Next year's proposed budget, which has passed a first reading, is a little over $90 million, 2% less than this fiscal year. Yet it does plan to add a welcome center for the town, to replace aging police department equipment, and to expand infrastructure projects. Millage rates were actually lowered last year because of the growth. Budget workshops are scheduled Thursday and then May 30th to seek public input and hash out the details. Former Hilton Head post office employee, 44-year-old Tylenthea Young of Hardyville, has pleaded guilty to 1 count of mail theft in a plea deal that will sentence her in June to potentially $25,000 in fines, up to 5 years in prison, and 3 more years of supervised release. Young worked at the island's North End post office until resigning last May after complaints of missing mail from island residents. Those complaints have continued into 2024, though the Office of the Inspector General says there are no other open investigations of local postal employees. And here's a little trivia question to ask your Beaufort County School student. Who is their school's teacher and support staffer of the year? The district wrapped up Teacher Appreciation Week by naming a teacher and staffer for those honors. The district-wide winners will be announced in the fall, but if your student doesn't know the answer, you can find out who your school's winners are at the district website. The media sources on your screen will have more on these and other stories, and we would love for you to like us on Facebook and follow us on Instagram at WHHI-TV. And if you have an idea for a news story, we'd love to hear it, so drop us a line at news@WHHITV.com. Now let's see what the weekend weather is shaping up to look like with Maria.
Thanks, Betsy. Yep, so taking a look ahead, it does look like we're going to break from the rain for the next couple of days, but then we are going to be seeing thunderstorms rolling back into our area this weekend. So taking a look at Thursday, it's going to be sunny with Hilton Head having a high 84, low of 68, and then Bluffton and Beaufort a high of 85 and low of 66. The sunrise for Thursday is going to be at 6:24 and sunset's going to be at 8:14. Taking a look at the tides, low tides going to be at 11:56 a.m. and high tides going to be at 4:43 p.m. Taking a look into the rest of the week and into the weekend, Friday it's going to be cloudy with thunderstorms later in the evening. Highs are going to be in the 80s, lows in the 70s. Then comes Saturday, it's going to be scattered showers and thunderstorms throughout the day, but it should be clearing up by the evening. Highs in the 80s, lows in the 70s. And then comes Sunday, again, we're going to see scattered thunderstorms throughout the day, and it should be clearing up by the evening. Highs are going to be in the 80s, lows are going to be in the upper 60s. That's it for today. Let's send it back to the desk.
Coming up after a quick break, we're going to learn about the construction at Hilton Head High School. We'll take a look inside a movie premiere, and we'll chat with Ms. South Carolina Wheelchair. Stay with us.